In this video, we're going to talk about protecting yourself as a business owner with privacy. We're going to dip into a little bit the difference between privacy and anonymity so that you understand. We sometimes use the terms interchangeably, but I want to make sure you have a clear understanding. So this video is going to get into those details. If you're concerned about privacy, if you're concerned about your home address being listed publicly and attached to your company, then an LLC formed in the right state can really help you allay those concerns. Full anonymity really isn't possible, but you can get the benefits with privacy, and if you're really diligent about maintaining that privacy. So let's dig into it a little bit more here. Full anonymity is not currently possible. It used to be possible. It used to be that you could form a Panamanian bearer share company. It used to be there was something called bearer bonds. You could get bearer bonds. There's almost none of them left in circulation, and good luck trying to cash a bearer bond somewhere. So that's anonymity. And with the modern financial system and the controls related to anti-money laundering and know your customer rules, almost impossible. What you can achieve, though, is privacy. Privacy means that you control your information. You don't let it go into the public realm unless you want it to. There's certain people or institutions you're just going to have to share information with. The DMV needs to know your home address. Your bank needs to know your ID, right? The IRS needs to know your home address and where you live and just about everything else about you. Medical, so on and so forth. And so those things, you have to trust that party before you're putting your home address into any online tool, any website, or giving it to anyone. Make sure that there's an actual reason for them to have it. And then by doing that, by managing where it actually has been released, you're going to be able to manage that privacy. But you understand the difference. Giving your information to a trusted partner, you're going to keep that information close to your chest, and you're going to make sure that you're not allowing it to be published for all to see. That is something that is definitely realistically possible. One of the biggest mistakes, people take privacy seriously, then they form a company, they do it themselves, and they list their home address as the registered agent address in the Secretary of State records. Those records, I don't know if the Secretaries of State sell the information or it's just scraped out of there, but there's companies that make a living off of, open corporates, and there's others. I like open corporates. I'm not to dig on them. I appreciate what they do, but they go and they take that Secretary of State information and they cross-check it, the addresses, the names, and the people, and they say, oh, John lives at this address, and they put it up for all to see. So someone has a disagreement with your business. They didn't like I always talk about tacos. They didn't like how the taco was made, and then they look for where you live, and they go knock on your door to complain. That would be the case if you put your address down as the registered agent. It's also the case if you do it yourself or you go in another state, unlike Wyoming, that does allow privacy. You put your name in those Secretary of State records, then you are going to be connected to that company in a public way. That undermines your privacy and it undermines your limited liability protection, right? That's why privacy matters. If a business interacts with customers, those customers could get upset and, love people, talk to people all the time. People do some crazy things, right? Coming to your house to complain about something, coming to your house, putting your family in danger. So if you're interacting with customers, that's important that you keep your information private. If you're worried about your personal safety, you're outspoken, you don't have a filter, there's political climate, if you're in favor of certain things or against certain things or something else, don't put that information, don't attach to your business, right? Because then it could hurt your business. I'll take money from any customer, but I may have certain beliefs that some of my customers may not agree with. And so it's important to keep that information out of the public sphere. So ultimately, I want you to take privacy seriously. I want you to consider who you select as your registered agent and think about privacy-friendly states like Wyoming. If your state does not value privacy, right? They don't allow it. You got to put your information, Secretary of State, a website. Then really consider whether you're doing business there and whether you would be better off with a Wyoming LLC where it has great privacy protections. And then finally, I call this the Florida two-step. Florida requires the members to be listed in the Secretary of State records. So you got to do it. It's a requirement. But if you form a holding company, your holding company is the member, you can list that in Florida. And then in Wyoming, it's private. So you've cut it off at the pass and you're able to obtain that privacy. How to protect your privacy. Some institutions, like a bank, need to know who you are. They need to verify who you are, need to know where you live, but the public does not, unless you want them to, right? Keep that in mind. You can get privacy for your company by using a professional registered agent. Don't list your home address. How uncomfortable could it be if somebody's trying to serve a complaint, trying to sue you, and you have friends over for a barbecue and they walk in and they give you that complaint? That's going to be very uncomfortable. Let us accept it and we'll get it to you privately through email. Even if you have an office, I recommend having a registered agent address anyway, because it could also scare your employees. If you get a lawsuit and they walk in and you've got a customer there or you've got employees there, oh man, is this company going to get sued? What's the problem? You can handle that privately with your attorney. So those are the important points on how to protect your privacy. Hopefully this has given you some idea. And I talk about terrible things in my videos that happen to people. But privacy is actually one of those things you can't unring the bell, I like to say. Once your information's out there and attached to a company or attached to a piece of real estate, you can't undo it. Those things are going to be out there forever. So privacy, you got to do it right from the beginning. You should consider a registered agent, a professional registered agent, even though you've got a business address, it's not your home address. I've talked about some of those reasons why you probably don't want to do that. And then if you are interested in privately formed LLCs, we take privacy very seriously. Go to our website and talk to our team about how we can achieve your privacy goals for you.